here and you're here, that only means one thing.
Oh, hey, Lindsay.
Hey, Christy.
How you been? How you been?
Good.
Ready to show you some more vacation pictures?
Again, really?
Wait for it. I got stuck. Don't put that there. Come on, you know you like seeing my vacation pictures.
No, I don't really.
You don't want to see all the fun we had on the beach?
Went to the beach, too?
We went to the beach. Hold on. I gotta find my phone. Wait for it. We got the swimming paddle. Hold that. Floaties, the beach ball. Pet flamingo. They come. That one's got no legs. Don't look at it.
What happened to him?
He got lost. He got the shovel. Oh, there. Stick him up.
Yes.
Maybe it's here. Hold on. Got my Happy Meal.
How long have you had that?
Don't worry about it. Beach towel, my beach towel. Oh, here we are.
Oh, cool.
Here we go.
Okay.
Ready?
Hold on, wait.
Wait. I gotta show you. Okay, here we are putting on our sunscreen. So the sun didn't burn us. Here we are putting on our water wings and our floaties.
Oh,
you saw those.
I'm glad you took those.
Yeah. We didn't want to sink. Here we are bringing our cooler with plastic bottles only. Because the aluminum cans and glass, they aren't always allowed on the beach, you know. So, here we are. Here's the lifeguard telling my father he can't put up the umbrella there because that's where the sea turtles nest.
Oh, okay. I didn't know the beach had so many rules. I thought you could just go and be there.
Of course it does. The rules are important because they protect the beach and they allow us to be safe and have fun at the same time.
Well, I thought the rules only kept us from having fun at the beach.
Oh, no. Rules are made to teach us to play fair, to take care of things, you know, be kind to others. I mean, kind of like the 10 Commandments, you know? What do they teach us?
I don't know. What do they teach us?
Well, for starters, they teach us to love God. You know, respect your parents, respect other people by not stealing or lying to them.
Okay, I see what you mean. So if I follow the 10 Commandments, then I'll love God and respect other people?
Exactly. And if you follow the rules at the beach, you can go to the beach and you won't get kicked off like my dad.
Wow, your dad actually got kicked out of the beach?
Here's the sign next to the volleyball net. No spiking. That's what it said right there. And he said, there's the girl whose nose was bleeding whenever he didn't follow the rules because, you know, you can't spike right there. You know.
Sounds like he needed to follow the 10 Commandments.
We all need to follow the 10 Commandments.
Too bad there's not an 11th commandment.
What would that be?
Thou shalt not make your friends look at their vacation pictures.
Aw, you know you love me and you love my pictures.
Yay!
Can anyone tell me why it's important to have sunscreen and to put it on when you go to the beach? Well, you know, there's no written rules about wearing sunscreen on the beach. But if you don't put it on, you're going to get a nasty sunburn. Sunscreen protects our skin from being damaged. It can save us from a bad burn in the short term and skin disease in the long run. Well, what other rules can you think about when you think about things you have to follow when you go to the beach? Think about other things that you need to consider about your trip to the beach. Well, rules aren't made just to keep us from having fun. They're meant to protect us and make sure that everyone has a good time when we take on adventures like that. Have you ever stopped to think how much time and work actually goes into having a good time? I know you probably have never thought about it, but it takes a lot of work to have fun, Ask any parent, ask any teacher. Let's take going to the beach for an example. You can't just walk out of your house, hop in the car, take a short drive, and have fun at the beach. You have to do a lot of planning and a little research in order to have a great time there. First of all, you need to pick a beach and figure out how you're going to get there. Do you drive? If you live a distance, do you fly? And if you drive, what's the best way, what's the best route to take to get there? Then you need to pack. You need your bathing suit, you need towels, you need your beach umbrella, you need beach chairs, you need beach toys, you need shovels, you need your buckets to play in the sand, you need balls, you need all that other stuff, you need games. You have to have your sunscreen, you have to have your sunglasses to protect yourself from the sun's harmful rays. And of course, you need water and you need snacks for the beach. Don't be caught on the beach without those things. Are we ready for the beach yet? No, not quite, because every beach has a different set of rules. Rules you have to obey or you don't get to play. Now, some beaches restrict the type of things you can bring out on the beach. Some won't let you bring umbrellas. Some won't let you bring certain kinds of drinks or containers, like maybe glass bottles. And some won't let you bring your pets, maybe your dogs or your other pets. Some restrict the kinds of things that you can do on the beach too. But that's not all. Oh no, that is not all. There are also mom and dad rules, like how far down the beach can you go? How far can you wander? That mom and dad still need to see you. Or how far out in the water can you go? How long can you stay out there? Now, that's an awful lot of rules, right? But guess what? Even with all those rules, actually, even because of all those rules, you still get to have a good time. You know, we don't always like rules, but they're a necessary part of life. Rules help us to play fair. They give us boundaries in which to have fun, and they teach us how to treat other people with love. This is especially true of God's rules, a set of rules that we call the 10 Commandments. Now, remember our road trip with the Israelites? Remember how God prepared to lead them out of slavery with that first fast food happy meal, the Passover? And they met their first test of their faith with the Egyptian army closing in on them at the Red Sea. But God is greater than great, and the waters parted, and their path was clear. Remember that? Well, from that jaw-dropping miracle, the Israelites found themselves in the heat. And I mean the heat. We can relate to that, right? And although they were free to do as they pleased, their favorite pastime became complaining. They were thirsty and hungry and thirsty and hungry and hungry, right? But God provided manna and quail for them every day, except, just like Chick-fil-A, no fast food pickup was available on Sundays. Now, to be sure, the Israelites must have been just like us today, because all that complaining wore them out. They were tired, tired, tired. God even gave them a rest stop along the way to remind them and to remind us that He is always with us and He knows what we need. He's always there. He's ahead of us in the game. Well, in our portion of last week's road trip, God instructed Moses to do what the highway sign tells us. Slower traffic, keep right, take a rest. Moses was tired, and Jethro gave good advice in reminding us that God brings wise people into our lives to help us. Well, this week's story is again found in the Old Testament book of Exodus, chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Well, the Lord knew that His people would need rules so that they could get along and so that they would know how to love and obey Him. When the Israelites came to Mount Sinai, Moses went up into the mountain to meet with God. As the people watched Moses go up into the mountain, into God's presence, they heard thunder and trumpet sound, and they saw lightning and smoke, and many of them were afraid. Moses talked with God up in the mountain for 40 days. That's a long time, isn't it? 40 days? We'd kind of begin to wonder. But God had a lot to tell Moses. While Moses was up in that mountain, God carved his 10 most important rules on those 2 stone tablets, and he gave them to Moses. When Moses came back down the mountain, he gave them to the people. The 10 Commandments tell us first to love God. God wants us to put him first and to worship him. No other gods but him. They also teach us to love other people. They tell us to honor mom and dad, and they tell us and teach us to respect other people's things. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't wish for things that are not yours. If you obey these commandments, what happens? You treat other people with respect and kindness, don't you? The 10 Commandments are rules that show us how to love God and love others. If we follow God's rules, we'll become more loving, more compassionate, and more giving. We won't think of ourselves, but we'll think of what's best for God and for other people. We'll still live holy lives, free from sin, and we'll spread God's love wherever we go. That's our main object, isn't it? The 10 Commandments work the same way. The 10 Commandments teach us to love God, to respect our parents, and to love other people. They don't keep us from enjoying life. They help us to enjoy life more. Let's ask God to help us follow his 10 Commandments so that we can be more loving and more kind to others. Would you take a minute to pray with me? Dear God, thank you for the 10 Commandments. Would you help us to live by them every day, Lord? Would you just bring them to our minds in everything we do and in every situation we find ourselves in. In Jesus' name, amen. Remember our road trip snapshot. God gave us 10 commandments to help us live the best life possible. Well, pull up to the window and follow the rules to place your Happy Meal order to go to the beach, of course, and follow the rules.
Hello guys, and welcome back to a summer road trip trivia. Hope you enjoyed your lesson by Miss Deb. Now, again, in case you forgot, going over the rules of play. How to play, are these the rules part of the commandments? Yes or no? Again, this is how we're going to play. Are these the rules part of the commandments? Yes or no? Question 1. Look both ways before you cross the street. Now I know what you're thinking, okay? Do you look both ways before you cross the street? I mean, let's think about it for a second, okay? You got right and you got left. Or do you look forwards and backwards? Well, that would make it 4 ways instead of both ways. But anyway, again, do you look both ways before you cross the street? Do you think it's one of the 10 commandments? Well, if you guess no, you're right again. Looking both ways before crossing the street is not one of the 10 commandments. Number 2, honor your mother and father. Now let's think about this one for a second. When your mom and dad tell you to clean your room, do you do it? Or do you hesitate? Do you listen to everything your parents tell you? So again, is honor your mother and father one of the 10 commandments? Think about it. Think about it. Well, if you said yes, you're exactly right. So every time your mom and dad tell you to clean your room, make sure you do so. Number 3, no dogs on the beach. Now, is that one of the 10 commandments? So when you want to take Spot to the beach, is that following or not following one of the 10 commandments? No dogs on the beach. Is that one of the 10 commandments? Well, if you guess no, you're exactly right. Again, some beaches don't allow dogs, but it's not one of the 10 commandments. Number 4, do not steal. So, is that one of the 10 commandments? Is it right or wrong to take something from someone that doesn't belong to you? Again, do not steal. Is that one of the 10 commandments? If you guessed yes, you're exactly right. Stealing is God's one of 10 commandments. We should never take anything that doesn't belong to us. Do not use the Lord's name in vain. Is this one of the 10 commandments? So, do not use the Lord's name in vain. In other words, saying his name out of character. Is that one of the 10 commandments? If you answered yes, you are correct. Again, guys, thank you for joining in for another Summertime Road Trip Trivia. Join us next week for the same Jesus and Me time, same Jesus and Me channel. Thank you, kids, and God bless. For more information on Aztec Church of the Nazarene, please visit our Facebook page and email us. God bless.